Julian, in a nutshell, what is WikiLeaks?
Wikileaks is an international public service that helps whistleblowers and journalists get the press material out to the public. We've, over the past 4.5 years, published an enormous range of sensitive documents from different countries around the world, which have gone on to have significant political effects.
Do you just get it and put it out, or do you authenticate it?
No, we authenticate everything that's come in. To our knowledge, we've never been wrong, and there's no sort of allegation by the rest of the press that we've ever been wrong. We've never lost a source through the process that we go through. We also go through a harm minimization process to try and notify affected parties or delay or slightly redact.
What's the goal? What do you hope to accomplish?
So in general, we have seen from the human rights community and from the best journalism that lasting reforms that tend to push human rights come about as a result of finding material that is being kept secret by organizations because they fear exposure. So by selectively looking for material that is being kept secret, we're able to selectively induce reforms that tend to have a positive human rights effect.
The U.S. National Security Advisor, General James Jones, calls this irresponsible. According to him, the disclosure could put the lives of Americans and our partners at risk and threaten our national security. How would you respond to that?
Well, we're used to dealing with organizations that have been exposed as a result of our publishing efforts. And whenever we hear something like may or could, how can this be incorrect? I mean, a Martian may land on the Pentagon at any moment in time. Doesn't mean that it's correct.
So you don't take this seriously, this criticism? Any fear, any conscience about possibly what you did cost a life?
When you're talking about any and possibly, of course, all sorts of things can happen in political affairs that are not predictable. But insofar as we can understand the material, we see material that's at least 7 months old. We have withheld approximately 15,000 reports for a further harm minimization process. We don't see anything here that is of tactical significance. What we see is a lot of reports that are sort of evidentiary significance that describe the cut and thrust of the entire war over a period of the last 6 years, that form a solid sort of initial evidentiary basis for getting up, say, prosecutions or understanding how this war has progressed. We see the who, the where, the what, the when, and the how of each one of these attacks.
Do you always know the sources?
We usually always do not know the sources. We are specialized in fact, not knowing who our sources are. We are specialized in, instead of verifying sources, verifying the documents themselves. That is how we've been able to protect our sources over the past 4 years, is by trying to not understand who they are, but rather just concentrating on the material that they're bringing to us.
Do you at all care about why somebody is leaking? What is the motivation? Does that concern you at all, if they may have a dog in the hunt?
Yeah, no, it does as part of a broader journalistic process, because that can throw an angle on the material. But in the end, provided the material is true and it is significant, that's enough for it to be of important consequences to the public. So that's our first consideration. Why they're doing it can add some light or shine some light to the material itself, but it's not our primary concern.